Welcome to Pour the Wine, It's ROM-COM time, where we'll sip some wine and review all things rom-com on the Hallmark Channel. I'm Amy.
And I'm Gary.
Are you ready to pour the wine?
I'm on it.
And we have today, do you want to do a drum roll? A Chardonnay. I finally got a white.
Yeah, she finally got her white.
We love Cab Sav, but I was in the mood for something a little different. I've been trying to convince Gary to do a white.
And
He's been stuck on Cab, but today we finally have a Chardonnay.
Well, you know, Chardonnays are good for on the porch while you're chilling.
They are a nice summer night.
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait for it to get warm.
Oh, it's getting there.
The weather's warming up here.
Yes.
Finally, maybe reached 60 degrees today, so we're excited about that.
Can't wait.
Longer days with daylight savings. So
well, the daylight savings messed me up today. I'm not gonna lie.
We were a little tired.
I was hurting.
We were hurting today for sure. So since we last spoke, we watched the finale.
Yes.
Of The Way Home. The season 3 finale of The Way Home.
God. What'd you think?
I thought it was great.
So did I.
Wow. Big shock, right? We really like that show.
It was so good. And yes, it did answer a lot of questions.
However, we don't want to give any away.
It did leave some questions.
Well, yeah, which is great because they got renewed.
Yay!
For a season 4. So, I mean, there's so much more room for them to explore. And I know we've talked about that in the past, but I'm kind of excited to see where it goes.
Do you think they might go like to the future or go into the past?
I don't know. Do you think they'll go in that? It's kind of wild because they could do that.
Yeah, they could. And, the funny thing is I was thinking about the other day, if you could jump into pond, what era would you want it to take you to?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right?
Every time we watch that, I think of the movie Peggy Sue Got Married. Oh. Do you remember that movie at all?
Yeah.
The Kathleen Turner and Nicolas Cage, and she falls and bumps her head at their like high school reunion, and then she goes back in time.
Yep.
And she walks into her house and she sees her parents, and she kind of gets choked up because they've since passed away. Right, yeah. And it's so good. And I think I would probably go back to, I don't even know. I'd probably go back to when my mom was still alive.
Yeah.
When I was young, probably.
Yeah.
I guess my mom and my grandparents, maybe.
Yeah. I would like to see them again.
I think that would be really cool. Because there are so many questions you think about when you're an adult that you don't ask when you're a kid.
That's true. That's very
What
true.
about you?
I would probably jump a couple times because I'd want to go back.
I know you like
and see, my grandmother when she came over from Scotland. Yeah, I would be a ponder, right? And my mom before she passed away, and in the 80s, because of the movies and the music. And can you imagine if you saw yourself? That'd be kind of weird, wouldn't it?
It'd be wild. It would totally. I don't know if I want to see myself.
I know. I'd be like, look at that dork. Oh my god.
Did
I really look
why
like
was
that?
I wearing that? Oh my gosh, my hair was big.
The
I don't know.
80s hair.
The 80s. It'd be kind of cool though. It'd be kind of cool. So we're looking forward to season 4.
Yes.
Whenever that decides to drop.
And we are going to be reviewing it.
We will be reviewing The Way Home season 4.
Season 4.
And we're going to need flow charts, timelines, family trees, all of the things to keep my head straight while we're watching it.
I know. It's so confusing now. There's too many that are jumping that we're finding out about.
So, we'll be all right. We'll get it.
We'll get that whiteboard and we'll map it all out before the season starts again.
We'll have string from person to person and like a murder board.
Yeah, color string.
Only it's not a murder board.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
We love murder boards.
We'll get to that when season 4 premieres, whenever that is going to be, probably a year from now, but
yes,
still. So I want to start watching Mistletoe Murders. We did not watch that when that aired in 2024.
Nope, we didn't.
And it just got renewed for season 2. Actually today.
That's right.
They found out they got renewed.
Oh, no, you were on your phone. And
and I saw that it got renewed. And I was like, yay, but we haven't watched it yet. So it was something that we really wanted to get back to. And we will watch Christmas things
any
time of year.
That's right.
So I think we're going to start watching that.
Yeah.
Maybe tonight we could watch the first episode. There are 6 episodes. It stars Sarah Drew. Do you know who Sarah Drew is?
I do not.
You do not?
Maybe the face.
She was on Grey's Anatomy.
You are not getting me again. I'm going to tell you that right now. You got me last week.
I got him on Kate Middleton, who he thought was an actress, but she is not. She is Princess Kate.
Busted.
Yeah. So, no. So she was in Grey's Anatomy. She played Dr. April Kempner. She was in Cruel Summer.
Ooh, no.
She played the mom in, I think, the first season of that one.
Okay.
Cruel Summer. And she was in, we watched the Hallmark movie Branching Out, where she sought out the biological father of her daughter.
Oh.
Do you remember that one? Yes, because her daughter was curious. And yeah, so she was in that. That was in 2024 also.
Man, they had a lot of good movies.
They did.
Didn't they?
So we'll have to start checking that out.
Okay.
Get the Christmas spirit with a little Christmas, little murder, little romance. Throw it all into one show.
That's right. We're going to get our Christmas on, y'all. Well, today we're reviewing The Reluctant Royal that aired on Saturday, March 8th, 2025. If you missed it, you can catch it on Hallmark Plus. This is the second of 3 brand new Royal Weekend movies.
You just jumped right into that, didn't you?
I sure did. Wasn't it good, though?
It was cool. It was good. It was good.
I wanted to throw in there, love you, Harry.
You can't anymore. That's done.
It's done. The Royal Weekend. I get it. So tell us who is in this particular movie.
The Reluctant Royal stars Andrew Walker, who we love. He plays Johnny. And of course, I looked it up, and his first Hallmark movie was A Bride for Christmas in 2012.
Holy guacamole.
Almost 13 years of Hallmark movies. That's pretty good.
That is good.
He was in 3 Wiser Men and a Baby, of course, the smash hit in 2022. And then the sequel last year, 3 Wiser Men and a Boy. And we also really enjoyed him in Jingle Bell Run with Ashley Williams, which was in 2024.
Yeah,
of course,
we sure
that
did.
took place where? In Chicago. We love people. Chicago. Emilie de Ravin plays Prudence, which is the Duke's dedicated advisor.
Yep.
And this is her very first Hallmark movie.
Really?
Her very first one. She's so good in it.
She was really good in it.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we see a lot more of her on the Hallmark Channel.
Oh, we will.
Hallmark Plus.
We will.
And of course, she was in Once Upon a Time. She played Belle.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And Lost.
Oh my!
She was Claire in Lost. She was a baby in that. Oh my gosh!
Oh man!
It started in 2004. Lost did.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Simon Corey plays William, the Duke of Glasswick. He has several dozen acting gigs since the 90s, mostly British movies. He was in one episode of Line of Duty, though.
Oh, really?
The Gaffa.
Oh, the
We love
Gaffa.
That is an excellent series.
I wonder if that's
Line
coming
of
back.
Duty. I don't know. The British shows, they're every, couple of years?
Yeah.
They come back, they're on, and then they're off for 2 years. It's a weird.
Yeah, they only have like
weird.
6 episodes.
But Line of Duty was excellent.
It was.
Or is excellent if it's still on.
We always kept saying the Gaffa.
The Gaffa, yeah. That's a British term used to identify the boss, the big boss.
Right.
That's why
they are the Gaffa.
I am in this house. That's true. Fiach Kuntz plays Alistair. He's the cousin twice removed from the Duke.
Oh, wow. He's
been acting since 2015, and his debut was in an episode of Game of Thrones. He played a guard. I mean, what a breakthrough. Even if you don't have any lines and you're a guard.
Hey, you have to start somewhere, right?
TV shows. Yep, TV series.
Hey, let me be in that movie.
Jay Jordan plays Annie, which is Prudence's friend and works in the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Walker plays Hugh, and he is dating Annie, and this was his very first acting gig.
Really?
Isn't that cool? His first and only. Yeah. Elizabeth Moynihan plays Lady Eleanor, Alistair's mom. Michael James Ford plays Jeffers, the butler. Okay. I really liked him.
Yeah.
His character's really good. Allie Hardiman plays Augie, the bartender. And Megan L. Day plays Dottie, Johnny's mom.
Johnny's mother. Aw. Well, now that we know who's in this, how about you drop the synopsis on us?
All righty. I'm going to drop the synopsis. Philly mechanic Johnny is surprised to learn that his long-lost father is a duke. But the Duke isn't quite what he expected, or are his growing feelings for the Duke's advisor, Prudence.
Prudence.
So, what'd you think?
Well, I was pleasantly pleased, to be honest.
Okay.
And the reason, when I saw the commercial with Andrew Walker, Johnny, looking up at the castle and saying, "Holy guacamole," I was like, oh my God, are they going to cheese this out? Seriously? But to my surprise, they didn't. And it actually worked. So for me, I loved it.
You loved it?
Yes, I really did. Took me back to my peoples, you know what I mean?
Well, it didn't take place in Scotland.
No, but it's close. It's just a hop, skip,
your Scottish ancestors.
That's right, because the scenery was beautiful.
Yes, it was.
And, you know, Andrew Walker, he nailed it. So that's me.
Yeah.
What about you?
I had mixed feelings about it at first because I didn't have a good impression at the very beginning. You know, I am a big proponent of music.
Yes, you are.
And I thought it was just the beginning music with him was just a little too corny for me. I didn't like it. I didn't have a good first impression of him.
Okay.
At the very beginning, I just wasn't super crazy about that whole introduction. I thought it was overdone, dare I say, a little bit in the beginning. But when they went to the castle and you see Emilie's Prudence for the first time, you see her as Prudence and you see her walking the grounds and everything, it was like a breath of fresh air.
Right.
And then it sort of turned around for me from there. So it was just that little bit at the beginning where he, you know, is the mechanic, and that just didn't, and the music was just, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Seinfeld-y kind of, I just didn't, and I loved Seinfeld for what it was, but I didn't like it that much. The music got better.
Yes.
Towards the middle and the second half and more genuine. And so it grew on me, let's just say. So I ended up enjoying it.
You know, it kind of had that Grease vibe at the beginning, you know?
A little bit, but it just didn't work for his character for me. I just didn't, I wasn't buying it.
Okay.
At the beginning. I love him, but I just wasn't buying it.
So if we cut out that first opening scene.
If it would have started in the castle, I think I wouldn't have had any issue.
Okay.
Without the
I can see your point.
Music at the beginning.
And I respect it.
Yeah, well, you don't have a choice. So what were some of your favorite scenes? Or a favorite scene?
I had one favorite scene when Johnny was working on the car with his father.
Yes.
I thought that was, you know.
Me too.
It's kind of the roles were reversed where the dad is working on the car, you know, he's telling the son what to do, what tool to hand him. But it's Johnny telling, you know, his father, and he goes, "Give me the needle nose pliers." And he's like, "Those will do."
Whatever he picked up, right? Whatever the Duke picked up.
He didn't pick up the needle nose pliers. But I thought it was good. I thought they had a really good conversation.
Yes.
And they kind of hashed out, you know, why he didn't answer his mom's letters and stuff like that.
Yes.
So that was my favorite scene.
I had that down as well. Like you said, they had really good conversation because there were a few scenes where they are working on the car and it kind of developed their relationship over working on a car that I really like that. That was one of my favorites. And it reminded me of Dick Ebersol. Do you know who that is?
No, you're not going to get me.
No. I don't think he is anymore, but he was really involved with NBC and NBC Sports. He actually was one of the inspirations behind Saturday Night Live. I think he's one of the ones who came up with an idea to do something in that time slot. But then he was really well known for NBC Sports and the Olympics, and he brought that. And he and his two teenage sons were in a plane accident. Oh, man. And one of his sons died in it. And I remember his wife saying, she was interviewed, you know, a few years later, and she was saying that, you know, he was so, Dick Ebersol was obviously a big sports guy, but their son who passed away, Teddy, was not. And so she kind of talked about how he met him where he was and spoke his language, found out what his love language was, and that's how they communicated. Yeah. And I thought that, and I've always remembered that. I mean, this was, gosh, probably 20 years ago that the plane crash happened. Right. But the car scenes kind of reminded me of that. Like they kind of met where they both had common ground. Yes. And, you know, because Andrew Walker, he wasn't raised royal, and then you've got the royal who doesn't really know how to be a commoner and, kind of gave up his life for the royal family. So it just kind of reminded me of that. It was reminiscent of that. So that was one of my favorite scenes. I really liked when Prudence opens up to Johnny about why she's still at the castle. I thought that was really genuine. These are the moments that sort of came out that I really enjoyed that turned the movie around for me after that first bit at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I just thought their chemistry really worked in a lot of those scenes and a lot of those moments.
I liked in that scene you were just talking about because she was, I guess he thought she was looking down on him and he was kind of looking up at her like, oh, says the girl in the castle, living in the castle. Right. And she was like, wrong. That's not how it happened.
Right. Here's why I'm still here.
And then he kind of was like, oh, yeah, don't judge a book by its cover.
Right. Yeah.
Open it up and read it. Get the story. Really Once you get the story, then make your opinion. It's right.
Really, really great.
But that was a good scene too.
Yeah. And then when he's serving the staff his healthy drinks, I just thought that was really genuine too. He made the drink and he was giving it. He just seemed really relaxed as an actor in that scene, and I just appreciated that.
We have to find a beet recipe because whenever there's a juice scene or something, it's always beets. No. Is it really that good?
Is that what he used in that one?
Yeah, beets. It was beets. Yeah.
I'm a hard pass on that. I'm sorry. No matter how healthy. I know I'm supposed to be healthy, but I just, if you can make it taste like cotton candy or something, maybe, but I'm out with the beets. I'll try a lot of things. Or chocolate, yeah.
I don't know, but I would like to taste it. I would like to see what all the,
All right. So what were some of your biggest cheers, or what was your biggest cheer?
I think my biggest cheer was how they portrayed pub. I love how they portray pubs in England, Ireland.
Yeah, it's just cool
Scotland. It's like everybody's welcoming. Let's play darts, let's just have a good time. Where I feel like in America, it's like you go into a bar and depending on like if you're a woman or whatever, everybody wants your number. They don't want to welcome you. They just want your number. They want to dance, whatever.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah.
Yeah. The bar scene.
I'm glad. I like that they do that because they're off in the country and, you expect this bar to be crazy and everything, or the pub. But I like the name of it, Pickle. Pickle. That was funny.
It was kind of fun.
The other thing is, I'm glad they brought in a villain. We haven't had a villain in a minute.
Oh, yes, you're right. We haven't.
Yeah, so
he wasn't terrible. He was just sort of, they didn't do, yeah.
But it was stereotypical. He played the part good. And I love how when it went wrong for him, he stomped off. He was like, when the horse scene, he was like, I'm walking back.
Yeah. They had a kind of like a mild villain, but he wasn't over the top. He just wasn't over the top. He was just annoyed enough as someone would be who thought they were inheriting something. Yes. And so, the villain really worked in this one.
What about you? What was your cheers?
I had a few, of course. Emilie, I thought was great in it. We talked about this a little bit before. I hope we get to see her some more. She was fantastic throughout the entire thing. And her chemistry with Andrew Walker really worked. Yeah. Really, really worked. So I really hope this is the start of her Hallmark movie career. Yeah, she was great. We sort of talked about the scenes fixing the car. I won't go into that much more because we already discussed that. I thought the end was really good. Again, I like how they're bringing in all the three royal movies.
Man,
I thought that was really good. I really like that. And then, of course, the final biggest cheer from me would be just the scenery.
Yes. Beautiful.
The castle. Yep. And it was actually filmed in Ireland at a castle. And I don't have the name of the castle down, but I looked it up. And isn't that
crazy?
I know. They went to Ireland to film that. And it was beautiful. It was shot. I like when they go on location like that. It just changes.
Yeah, I like when they don't do the fake scenery.
Right. Well, I mean, sometimes they might.
Well, I know you have to, but when they can actually afford to go and shoot it on site, it changes the whole dynamic of the movie. And it was I really liked the scene.
You really enjoyed it?
Yes, I did.
Now, what about jeers? Did you have a big jeer? One, two, a few?
No, I wrote down in my notes that I didn't, but then I started thinking, I wish they would have played more on the juicing. I'm not quite sure whether or not they needed it, because they had a couple scenes with the juicing, at the beginning when he was in the American bar, and then when he went to the pub, in the castle, and then in the barn where he fixed the apple juicing machine or whatever. I just felt like, okay, so what are you trying to do here with that?
You felt like it was just sprinkled in, but not enough to make an impact. So why was it there?
Right.
Right. Because it was at the very beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what about you? You got any jeers?
Mine would be the music in the first half. That really, I just thought it was quirky, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I mean, I get it. Maybe it sort of evolved like he does throughout the movie, from the beginning to, his initial personality, and then it goes to the end. So maybe I can get it, but that would be my biggest jeer, was that first scene.
I know you're a big
and it turned me off right away, but then I came back around. So you know,
well, that's good.
Emilie and Andrew were great. I keep wanting to say Johnny Walker. His name is name is Johnny Kane. In the movie. He plays Johnny, and he's Andrew Walker, but Johnny Walker goes together. Anyway.
I know it does, doesn't it? It kind of rolls off the tongue.
Right. So,
well, there were a couple other things that I wanted to point out. No, not jeers.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any more jeers?
No. That was the biggest one. I didn't really.
There were a couple other things that I noticed, and I'm not sure if you did or not, but there was a color scheme throughout this whole movie.
No, I didn't.
And it was red, white, and blue.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to just point out what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Here, okay.
All right.
So when he first showed up, he had a red hoodie on with a blue shirt, right? And some black and white sneakers. He had a red, white, and blue button down in the castle.
Yes.
His room was blue. He rode a white horse, and he fixed a red car.
Oh, wow.
See?
Look at you.
See?
Okay, look at you. I wonder if that's all intentional or not. We would have to, it would be great to find out.
I wish, if anybody knows out there, drop us a line. Let us know. The pictures on Johnny's...
Sounded like you said snow. Let us know.
Oh, let us know. Let us know. Let us know. No, let us know.
Let us know.
Oh, I did it again. Let us know. On Johnny's mom's wall, all the people in the pictures were either wearing blue, red, or white.
Stop. Really?
Yep.
I have to go back and watch that.
You got to go back and watch it.
I did not notice that.
That's what I noticed. I noticed these type of things.
The more you know. Yes, you do.
So
yes, you do.
And when people came to the ball, some were wearing red dresses, some were wearing blue, and there was some white. So there you have it. What about you? Do you have any other things you liked about it?
No, I mean, I liked the banter. I liked when he said, I shan't not, and then when he said Jaguar, how did he say? Jaguar. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, their banter back and forth was really good.
The darts hustle.
Oh, she hustled
when she kind of gets him on the dart. I mean, there were a lot of good points. When Jeffers tells him that Alistair wears lifts, I thought that was really funny.
2-inch lifts?
In his shoes. Yeah, I thought that was really funny.
Yes,
I enjoyed that. And then there's one thing, and I jotted this down. So there's a point where Johnny says something about his dad. He wasn't around for 38 years. Why should he start now? Or, something to that effect. He mentions 38 years, but the marriage certificate said 1989.
Oh.
So
see, you got a good catch.
1989 plus 38 would be 2027.
Oh.
It is 2025.
Somebody
and I was like,
he
made himself too old.
Oh my goodness.
Because she said they got married and then she got pregnant, right?
Yep.
And then, which would have been in 89. So the math wasn't mathin'.
Oh.
That's one little thing that I noticed.
Math wasn't mathin'.
Unless I'm totally off on that, but.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That was a good catch.
A little, that kind of, rubbed me the wrong way. But overall, it was pretty cute. The old crust. There were just a lot of one-liners, little banter that worked. I thought the chemistry worked.
Yeah.
So
the one line that I liked is when she said, "You're the heir." Right. And he goes, "Well, I'm going to stay in an Airbnb."
Yeah.
So is that kind of stuff
worked.
that worked out.
Yeah.
But,
so out of 5 corks, how many corks would you give this one?
Well, I don't know. Since you pointed out the beginning of the movie, I was going to give it a 5, but I'm going to stay with a 5. I'm going to give it 5 corks because I really enjoyed it. What about you? How many corks did you give it?
I gotta do the 4.5. I can't quite do the 5 because the beginning. I can't. Sorry, I can't.
Hallmark, you gotta step up your music. The beginning music.
No, I mean maybe it was intentional because it went along with his character, but I just did not enjoy it that much. I enjoyed the rest of the movie. It's just that beginning part didn't work for me.
You know.
So yeah, 4.5. We'll do a solid 4.5.
Okay.
Because it redeemed itself, came around.
Yes, it did. It did redeem itself. So, well, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
Okay. Well, thanks for listening. Be sure to follow the podcast wherever you listen so you don't miss any of our episodes. Also, follow us on social media if you really, really like the show and are listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please leave a 5-star review.
Leave a 5-star review.
Yes, what she said. And if you didn't really, really like the show, you can still leave a 5-star review.
Do it anyway.
Do it.
Join us next Wednesday for our review of the 3rd and final brand new Royal Weekend film, Royalish, which airs Saturday night, March 15th, 2025 on the Hallmark Channel and then streams the next day on Hallmark Plus. Until then, fill up your glasses and push play. Thanks for listening.
Cheers.